is that you got to start somewhere. Now, am I going to be that effective when I go to Congress? Of course I am. I'm going to do exactly what you people want me to do. If you don't want me to vote on a bill because there's too much pork in it, I won't do it. I won't vote for it. But I'll be open and honest about what I do about it. I'm not going to hide behind the door and make a deal for all kinds of money for myself and other people. What I want to do is do just what you people want me to do. That's how this country was designed. And when we had smaller numbers, it was very effective. But now we've got too many numbers and not enough representatives. If you really want the federal government to be effective, you've got to increase the representation. Otherwise, you've got to start returning power to the states, just like you suggested. So don't think I'm not going to be effective. I'll tell you, I don't bargain very well when I don't like something. And the only reason I'm not going to like something is if you people tell me not to like it. So, you know, that's all I'm saying is if you're ever going to change your government, now's the time to start. Because we've got a real chance to win this election here. You guys got to spread the word. You got to call around to these other people and say, we got a candidate here that represents our views, and we want to get behind it. I'm not going to give you the same old. I mean, I read Rob Portman's thing today. It's the same old stuff. Oh, the Democrats are targeting my campaign. I need money, and we have to lower taxes. We have to do this, but they have no plan. That's part of what I've done my whole life. When I have to take somebody to an operating room, I have to come up with a plan about what I'm going to do when I get there. There's none of that being done in this country in Congress. If you put those kind of people that think like that, you got to get the politicians, the career politicians out of there. Start putting some of your own people in there, regular people that are going to get out there and work for you. That's what this campaign is all about. And I'll tell you, I'm all set to go. I'll bargain with people, but I'm not going to bargain for anything that's going to undercut our values. I am term limited. I'm 62 years old. Okay? And that's what you ought to think about, because if I can serve 2 terms, I think I will have served as much as I can. I don't want to go back to, I mean, I got a little bit of life I want to spend in my own. And so if I get 1 term and I can do some real good, that's fine. I'll be a happy man. So long as somebody like me replaces me. That's what I'm looking for. If I can get 2 terms, then we can really start to do something, because if we can turn this thing around, and the real political middle class in this country can put their own people in Congress, I'll tell you, if we take the reins off of this economy, we can pay our way out of this debt in 2 decades, maybe less. This economy is so powerful, and they've put so many chains around it, for the life of me, I mean, why would you get a brand new engine and pour sand in it? It's the same thing.
I really think they're trying to break capitalism so they can introduce socialism.
Well, that's exactly what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I'm all about capitalism, but I'm not all about the little guy down there that's nailing fingers on that to have something at the end of his year just like everybody else. Because that's how you're going to stimulate your economy. The middle class people are the ones that drive this economy, and they're trying to erode that. They're trying to erode the middle class so that they can put more and more people on these government perks. Real scary statistic. 43%, no, it's more, it's 48% of all the people that are on the government dole were in the little counties that voted for Obama. If you ever saw the map after the last election, the number of counties that McCain won? But the blue ones, 48% of those people are already on the government dole. We're about ready to go over 50%. When that happens, you're in a socialist state. This is where it starts. And it starts when you put your own person in the Senate. The Republicans are scared to death of me. The Democrats are, I don't know what they're thinking, because they think I might be a party splitter or something like that. I'm hoping we can win this election. If we get the middle class and political middle in here to vote for me, then you'll still get the conservative values that you want, but you just don't have a guy that's being bossed around by the party boss. John Barrasso, a U.S. Senator from Wyoming, is an orthopedic surgeon as I am. And he and I had a little conversation about this. And he said when he first got there, within the first week, the party bosses came in and said, you're going to say what we tell you to say, you're going to vote how we tell you to vote, and if you don't, you're not going to be here next time. And he said after 4 years, they're finally letting him start to show his face because he's got to run for re-election in 2012. So he starts showing up on Fox News. He's got a little bit of TV time in that healthcare thing in the White House that Obama had. But nobody will be able to control me like that because I don't have to listen to them. Now they can try and hamstring me by not putting me on committees and so forth, but that just gives me more time to open my mouth and tell people what they're doing. So, let me tell you, I've never been shy. I've never been shy about that when something's wrong. Because this is really important. If we can get enough people in Ohio that believe in the way we believe, it'll make it work. Now, I'm an independent candidate. I just heard today that the Tea Party became an official party today. It was on Fox News earlier today, and Megyn Kelly said that there was a charter signed, and they're now recognized by the federal government as a political party. So we're not going to have candidates, people aren't going to have candidates like the Republicans and Democrats do. There's still going to be kind of these individual things. But the one thing that I don't like is when people like Dan Quayle come up and says, they'll be gone after this election. I hope not, because this is so important to our country to have these people out there really taking an interest in what's going on. I'm an independent. Now, if the Tea Party endorses me, hallelujah. I mean, if they endorse me, that's going to help me get that 43%. That's what I'm looking for. Because I think the Tea Party people are really great. I mean, I've attended a couple of their meetings, and I've attended a couple of those rallies, and I said, well, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. I dropped out of the Republican Party. I got tired of being lied to. I got tired of having those people get out and say, we're going to cut spending, and we're going to cut taxes, and have a free-for-all. So I'm out. I mean, and believe me, it hurt to write that letter. It really did. You can ask my wife. It was a terrible thing for me to have to do. But I did it, and I'm here. And this is where I'm going to be from here on out. George Washington, in his final goodbye to the country, warned about the two-party system. He says, in the end, they will deal with each other with venom and vengeance and revenge. That's how it always ends up, and that is not good for the republic. That's what George Washington did. He said, beware of the two-party system. Now, I think that we got a real chance to bust that act up down there, and I'll tell you, I'm your man. I'm your man. I'm the one that's going to listen to what you say, because I mean, Portman has been given $6 million by the Republican Party, and Lee Fisher's been given $2 million by the Democrats, and Bruner's got $1.5 million or $2 million. So who's their first allegiance got to go to? Because to get reelected, they got to get that money. That's how they deal with things down there. I'm going to have to beg, borrow, and steal from people just like you to help me get on the ballot. So if you people will just take a step forward with a little bit of courage and say, by golly, we're going to put our own guy in there now, it can be done. And when the rest of the country sees that, boy, I'll tell you, it'll encourage people everywhere. Yes, you can take your government back, but you got to do it one step at a time. I hope to be the first step in this process. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.